This is the answers in the work for assignment 5-9. For number 2, you had tangent of 15 degrees. I rewrote that as 60 minus 45. Remember, when you're working with tangent, you want to avoid 30 degrees at all costs. Okay, so 60 and 45 are good choices. That goes tangent of 60 minus tangent of 45 over 1 plus tangent of 60 times 45. Put in your values. The not so fun part about tangent is if you got to this step, this guy right here, yay for you, but you need to simplify it. So multiply by the conjugate, kind of simplify your work down. You should have 2 radical 3 minus 4 over negative 2. Divide each of those top terms by negative 2. Negative radical 3 plus 2, or the nicer way to write it, 2 minus radical 3. Sine of 75, pretty straightforward. I changed it into 45 plus 30, expanded it, put in my values. You do want to try to stick to the first quadrant if you can. So 45 and 30 were nice choices. Cosine of pi over 12, change it into cosine of 15. Once again, stay in the first quadrant if you can. So 60 minus 45. Plug and chug your trig values. 11 pi over 12 is 165 degrees. So the main thing when you're rewriting this portion right here, you want to find a way to rewrite it so that it is not using a 30-degree reference angle. So I would have wanted to avoid 150 degrees or 30 degrees or 210 degrees or 330 degrees. Those are all ones that we would want to avoid when using tangent. 120 is a good choice because you have a 60-degree reference angle. Be careful when you're kind of looking at that denominator. This is subtract in the bottom. So this is 1 subtract a negative radical 3 times 1. So tangent is in the second quadrant for 120. So make sure it's a negative radical 3 you're throwing in there. Kind of look at my math and see how everything kind of simplifies down. And last but not least, sine of negative pi over 12 simplifies down into negative 15 degrees. I rewrote it as 45 minus 60. Kind of just plug and chug the math from there. Tangent is definitely the least fun of all of these to do because you always have to divide that conjugate. Or multiply by that conjugate because you have that division going on. 11, 14, and 15 were like example 2 from your notes. So it was the idea of you needed to recognize which sum and difference identity it was. And tell me what we started with. So this was sine with subtraction, sine and cosine, cosine and sine. So if we recognize it was the sine one, with subtraction meant that you were subtracting the two. Same with this one. And then tangent. Tangent is the same in the top. So 19 plus 47, tangent is 66.